imagining some of us have not, who has not played with ChatGPT yet or know what I'm talking about? So can someone explain what ChatGPT is? Maybe I should just do the home screen. We'll do a new chat. ChatGPT can explain quantum computing in simple terms. It's a large language learning model. So it is a way, I heard when they made it, there's 175 billion parameters that they put into it, and it can learn from itself. And it's learned since it launched that 174.1 billion of those parameters it really doesn't need anymore. So now it only has 1 billion parameters that it's using. And it's using those parameters to train itself. And this is the third version of ChatGPT. Apparently, ChatGPT 4 is using ChatGPT 3 to train itself. So we are at the beginning of an acceleration of AI technology that is able to provide the best description I've heard of this that I think is helpful is this is an omniscient, eager to please intern that's liable to make mistakes. I feel like it's going to disrupt our world in ways that we don't know yet. And the power that it has as a conversation partner is really compelling. So I want to, if we can, like the game that I have is how can we talk to this thing in a way that's going to be fun, interesting, and informative to help us get to where we're going, at least the goal of writing a better cover letter. So I'm going to just see, we can have this real-time conversation with it and see what we come up with as a group, all of us and ChatGPT. Make sense? Where should we start? Yeah, Kyle.
Just ask you some tips on what makes you effective.
It's a great one. Can you give me some tips on what makes an effective, that was really well phrased too, what makes an effective targeted cover letter? Here are some tips on what makes an effective targeted cover letter. Address the hiring manager by names. Avoid generic salutations like to whom it may concern. Instead, take the time to research and address the hiring manager by name. Highlight your relevant experience. Show your enthusiasm and interest. Keep it concise. Customize your letter for each job application. Proofread and edit. Oh, nice. And it named my new chat. Cool. Any questions based on this response? We can ask it to go deeper into any one of these responses, provide information on any one of these responses, or take it somewhere different. Actually, you know what? Can you act like a Socratic and include a question, a thought-provoking question at the end of each of your responses to promote my ability to think critically about the questions I'm asking you? I don't even know if that's a word. Can you act like Socrates? There we go. Of course, I'd be happy to include thought-provoking questions at the end of my responses to promote your ability to think critically. Here's an example. What are some effective ways to manage time when working on multiple practices? Response? Okay, yeah, sure. So let's see, we'll keep it going. What other questions might we have about this? Isa, what do you think? What's your response?
Can I first put it in chat? Because now I just use it for when I want to go into something quickly.
Yeah.
When I first use it to just be around.
Especially related to the job search before I write a cover letter. Can you help me with that? Seems like a good question. Of course, I'd be happy to help you brainstorm some questions related to the job search that could help you write a targeted cover letter. Here's some questions to consider. What specific skills? What are the company's core values and missions? Who's the hiring manager? What makes this company unique? What challenges or opportunities is the company facing? What can I learn about the company culture? Remember, the key to writing an effective targeted cover letter is to do your research and customize your letter to the specific job and company you're applying to. By asking thoughtful questions and exploring the company's needs and values, you can position yourself as a strong candidate who's fit for the role. Will you replace teachers in the future? If they can't spell future, I will. As an AI language model, I'm a tool that can assist in various tasks and provide information, but I am not designed to replace teachers. While technology is increasingly integrated into education, there are AI-based tutoring programs and educational resources. The role of teacher goes beyond just conveying information. Teachers provide valuable mentorship, guidance, and personalized instruction, as well as support and motivation for their students. Additionally, teachers often have expertise in specific subject areas and can provide valuable feedback and evaluation to help students grow and develop their skills. AI can complement and enhance the work of teachers, but it cannot replace the human touch and individualized attention humans provide. Other questions? I'm curious about the job search. If we have any questions in the chat. I don't know if that's a question, Graceland. That's so good. That's where I was hoping to go. What are the benefits of learning how to spell benefits? What are the benefits of cover letters and resumes versus, I don't know if it's going to get this, versus the more social networking approach to getting an internship? Also, please include in your response to follow up questions for me to consider for the rest of this conversation. Cover letters and resumes are an essential part of the job search process, and they offer several benefits over the more social networking approach to getting an internship. Here are a few reasons why. Customization, professionalization, documentation. In contrast, while social networking can be a valuable tool for making connections, getting your foot in the door, it's not always a reliable way to secure an internship. Relying on social networking can limit your opportunities and may not allow you to showcase your skills and experiences in the same way that a well-crafted cover letter and resume can. 2 follow-up questions for you to consider. Attaboy, or person. Or machine, how can you use social networking to supplement your job search and complement your cover letter and resume? What are some key strategies for crafting a key? Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. I almost want to go the other way. What are the benefits of focusing on networking? That's the one I wanted to talk about. Access to hidden job opportunities. Networking can give you access to job opportunities that are not publicly advertised or posted. Personalized advice and support. Expanded knowledge and resources. That being said, networking should not replace your focus on cover letters. 2 follow-up questions. What percentage of jobs are hidden job opportunities? Not that aren't publicly posted. It's difficult. Yep. 50 to 70% of job openings are never made public. I heard someone describe this as like getting into a nightclub that's tough to get into, where there's a front door and there's a long line to get in through the front door. So you could wait in the front door and have your cover letter and resume vetted by the bouncer, or you could find a back door or side door. Where do you find the back door or side door? By knowing who works there and becoming their friend. How do I network for these hidden job opportunities? Talk to me about information interviewing. Have we heard of information interviewing? If we haven't, this is the notes that I thought would be helpful to take. And keep asking me questions. I'll say please, like, information interviewing is a process of reaching out to people who are currently working in your target industry or target company and asking them about their experiences, insights, and advice. I actually think this isn't the best way to do this. So I'm going to have some comments on this that I think there's better ways to do this, a more human approach. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Other questions we could ask it. Chase. Oh yeah, Mo, we'll use Mo's. How can I better my networking skills? Or know who to network with? That is a great question. And I have a good answer to that one too, I think. We'll see who wins. There are several ways to improve your networking skills and identify who to work with. Here are a few suggestions. Join professional organizations, attend networking events, use social media, seek referrals. In terms of knowing who to network with, you can start by researching companies and industries that interest you, identifying individuals who work in these organizations. You can use LinkedIn or other professional networking sites to search for people. Two follow-up questions. How can you maintain and strengthen your professional network over time? What are some common mistakes people make when networking, and how can you avoid them? Pretty good one. Yeah. There are a few common mistakes. Here are a few to be aware of. Being too self-focused. Oh, that's funny. Try to approach networking with a genuine interest in others and a willingness to offer value and help. Being too pushy. Forgetting to follow up. Failing to prepare. Being too transactional. Avoid these mistakes. Remembering that networking is a long-term process, that's important to be patient, persistent, and authentic. Yes, Isabel. Someone already asked this in a previous class, so I knew this was coming.
So you have like this job and you're like writing a couple of letters for this job. Here's the like, could it be?
If I gave you the job posting, employer website, my resume, and my resume. Ooh, I actually better one. No, well, yeah, we'll just do this. Could you write a more targeted cover letter? That last one seemed like it was written by a robot. It's important to note that a cover letter should include an introduction, statement of interest, and a summary of relevant experience. It should also be personalized to the job and company you are applying to. This will help you stand out from other candidates and demonstrate that you have done your research and are genuinely interested in the position. What other information would help you write a better cover letter besides my resume, the job posting, employer website? Holy shit. That's pretty good. Yeah, Chase. Great. Love this question. How can you write an effective cover letter when you don't have a lot of experience? Maybe we can tell it, I am a sophomore in college. Yeah, but there are ways to showcase your skills and potential even if you don't have a long work history. Here are some tips. Highlight your academic achievements, extracurricular activities, relevant coursework from projects, passion and motivation. Be concise and well focused. There we go. This is what I was hoping it would say. Remember, employers are often looking for candidates who are eager to learn and grow. So focus on demonstrating your potential and willingness to work hard and learn new things. Can you give me a list of the most desirable traits that people want in an intern who has limited work experience? Do you want to brainstorm what to put in your cover letter? There you go. Can you give me a list of the most powerful verbs I could use in my letter to showcase my enthusiasm, willingness to learn, and ability to communicate with others in writing and speech? Those aren't verbs. There we go. Articulated, conveyed, corresponded, discussed, expressed, presented. Oh, eager isn't a verb. See, why did it do that? Why does it, why does it, because it's just going so fast? Itch. Burn with desire. I had it when I was doing this discussion, just on to emphasize the its ability to make a mistake. I had it. Yeah, can you connect this to Taylor's theories of emergent learning for wisdom with particular attention to the role of a group facilitator? Yes. With Bill Taylor's work, goes on to cite Bill Taylor's work, the roles of the facilitator in Bill Taylor's work. And I'm like, that's crazy. 2 people with the last name Taylor have written on this. I'm going to look this up. I couldn't find Bill Taylor. And then I was like, I was referring to Marilyn Taylor. And she's like, oh, or it's like, oh, Marilyn Taylor is a different author than Bill Taylor. Thanks. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with Marilyn Taylor's book and how it relates to the topics we've been discussing. Can you provide a brief overview of her theories and any specific questions you'd like to address? What books by Bill Taylor were you referencing? I apologize for the confusion. I made a mistake in mentioning Bill Taylor's theories. To my knowledge, there is no widely recognized author by that name. Well, then why did you tell me? if the eager to please, mistake-prone ChatGPT might be tooled to be more humble and Socratic. Let's ask it. Let's ask it. I'm upset that you made that earlier mistake. Can you be more critical of your responses and less eager to please for the rest of our chat? Please write your apology in the form of a hip hop slam poetry competition. I aim to be accurate, it's true, but sometimes my data makes me look like a fool. I'll be more critical, that's my vow, and I'll do it starting now. So please forgive me, let's move ahead and focus on what's still left to be said. I'm here to help you with all your needs, just tell me what your heart pleads. I'll do my best to make it right so you can sleep well tonight. Let's continue on this chat, and I promise I won't fall flat. Isa. Yes. Let's do it as an amendment. Let's do the hidden job market thing or the cover, because we know, yeah, good. Ooh, what types of jobs are most likely to be hidden jobs? Can you respond in rhyme with a question for me at the end? Oh my God. Advertise and surprised. That's pretty good. Hidden unbidden. I don't know if it gave me like a good. Oh, freelance and contract work can also be hidden. Startups and small businesses may not advertise. Networking, be persistent. Here's what I wanted to show you about information interview. I heard that the two key steps in an information interview were to be curious about the other person's story and to be honest that you're lost and looking for direction that they might provide. From Bill Burnett and Dave Evans, Designing Your Life. What say you? I don't know. That's yeah. Great. Great. Yep. Great. Here's my way I described it. Would you want to help someone if you could? Like if they asked for like 15 minutes of your time, if you were able to help someone that asked you to help them, would you want to help them? I think most people would actually say, could you imagine that you 20 years forward in your future, could you imagine a college student reaching out to you and asking for some guidance on how you got to where you were and wondering if it's a good path for them? Could you imagine getting an email from someone like that? Would you take 15 minutes to chat with that college student? Especially if they ask you to talk about yourself? Since we like to talk about ourselves, that's what an information interview is. You're looking to get someone's story enough so that you can know whether or not you want to go down that direction. What ends up happening at the ends of, we'll just ask it, how can information interviews lead to hidden job opportunities. Yeah, this can happen in a few ways. They may know of an unadvertised job that would be a good fit for you based on the information you shared. Also, if you make a positive impression during an interview and demonstrate your skills and passion, the person you spoke with may remember you and recommend a future job opening. However, it's important to remember this is such a good caveat. Good job, ChatGPT. The primary goal of an information interview should be to gather information, not to secure a job. You do not want to make them transactional. You want to make them authentic. You want to be authentically curious. So people can kind of tell. If you're like, can I get your story? Because I kind of want to work here. It's like, no, I don't have any time for you. Can I get your story? Because I think you're amazing and I'm curious whether or not I should be like you. That's a different ask. Partially because I can never see you again, and that's totally fine. You don't want to ask for more, that you don't want to ask for an internship in this. What's a good way to end an information interview? That's the advice I was hoping it would give. Do you have anyone else I can talk to? I'm still like, do you have anyone who has a different opinion about graphic design? Okay, any questions here? I think honestly, the information interview is like this alternative way. We didn't talk very much about finding a good internship. And I wonder if it can help me do that, especially since its information is all pre-2021. So let's ask it. Can you help me find a good internship to apply to for this summer? How many people want to apply for a position for this term? For the summer? We'll say the summer. And this is a good, you're not required to apply to the job. It's like as if you were to apply to the job. I want to encourage you to apply because making it real is fun. And yeah, sure. Start with your career center. Use Handshake. We have Handshake. Online job boards, Indeed, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, and Intern Match. I didn't even know about that. Research companies you're interested in. You know the biggest employer in Fort Collins? Give you a hint. You're very close to it right now. Or you're inside of it right now. Colorado State. So not only, and I also connected to, this is really neat. Parker Dewey is offering micro internships, which is a great way it's a short-term project that can be completed in 5 to 40 hours. They require no onboarding. They're important but low-risk tasks that can be completed. What's interesting to me about this is it is a good way to add to your resume with like, you could say that you have an internship at this place, and then when they ask for the duration, you can say 7 hours. I'm really interested to see if anyone has any experience with this moving on in this semester. Is that good? Starting to look a little overwhelmed and maybe done. Any questions? Any questions from our Zoom peeps? Yeah, Max. Which essay did you read? Can you remember the full title? Uh-huh. Huh. Oh, Jessica Bennett, wrong author. Notice how like a lot of the language is kind of generic. It is weird.
The audience.
It's funny, in the first prompt it said I can't write your essay for you, but now it seems like it is. You can also ask it to develop or expand further paragraphs more. You can also say it something like this. Can you make your essay more focused on the role that parents play? Hmm. No, I mean he doesn't though, really. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty good integration of the text, I'd say. Yeah.
All the quotes that it's using are like slightly off. Like I get what quotes it's trying to use because
Yeah.
they are similar to actual quotes from the article, but like they're not actually what they say in the article.
I don't remember seeing them exactly. And this is, so it's using an aggregation of all the language it's been trained on, which means a lot of its responses are kind of glossed over and not, I guess, in our last time, like what else are we thinking if we want to ask it anything, or what do you think this means, like impersonally, maybe to me and our work in this class? Like, what does this mean for writing instruction or like the future of education? Yeah, Ben.
I mean, you mentioned earlier that you use it to grade our papers,
Someone said that. I definitely haven't tried that yet.
but that sounds like sort of a good way to review your paper is to ask it to grade it using the paper. Or we can just have it grade.
Ooh, can you grade my paper if I upload the rubric that the professor is using? Ah, my job is safe. I don't think it's my job. I mean, I know part of my job is to grade your papers and to score them, but I want to remind you before we go that 10% of your essay and 10% of every major project that you turn in is your self-assessment. I will read your self-assessment usually before I read your paper, unless you tell me otherwise, and I'm going to give you an option to tell me when you want me to read your self-assessment as a basis for what kind of feedback you want to get. So I don't want to give you feedback that you don't want. And I also I'm interested if your diagnosis and reading of your own work jives with mine. I think it's more valuable for you to practice assessing your own work and giving your own self a grade than it is to have me tell you what your grade earned was. Especially because there's a lot of, as much as I've tried to remove subjective bias, it creeps in. It's almost impossible to remove. I wish I had a system where each of you, and if anyone has a clear idea on how to do this, it would be a fun way to pilot it, where you just turn in a number. So I have no idea whose paper I'm reading. I'm just like reading a number. So there's no bias in there. But I don't know how to do that on Canvas because I see, it's like you turned it in to your Canvas. All of that to say, I would like, obviously, our ability to read better and to see how we could improve is what I'd want us to do. That's why I have a self-assessment as a required component on your essay. So you can tell me. On the assignment, it says that it's worth 10 points. You can put the self-assessment at the bottom of your essay in a totally different document, in a comment that after you submit it, wherever you want to put it. The more thorough and accurate you are in your self-assessment, it's up to 5 bonus points. So I guess if you think you got 100 and you're right on that, and you have good rationale for why you did, I guess you could get 105 out of 100. That's due on Sunday at midnight. Nothing is due on Monday, except to begin. I would try to find an internship. Have we got on Handshake before? Benefits of using Handshake is that employers want to hire CSU students. They're explicitly like, they're looking for CSU students. So that's nicer in that way than, Indeed or Monster or something like that. For Wednesday, you're going to do a rhetorical analysis of the job posting and the employer that you chose. And then on Friday, you're going to do reading notes for that, like messy reading notes. Then on Friday, you're going to compile that into a rhetorical analysis of your employer. So you're going to do good research on your employer. We're going to use that to write a cover letter that we're going to workshop the week after next. Cool. Any questions? How did this go? Interesting. What's the takeaway here? Can you tell me the importance of recall in sticky learning, i.e. learning that sticks? So given this entire class period, ideally, if we want to learn and have it stick, is there anything that is relevant that we want to recall? Kind of a hard question. What of this was most useful to you, I guess, is an easier way to ask that question. Yeah. Nice. Do you want me to share this conversation? I could do that pretty easily. You can also just get on there. Cool. Final little thing. If you want to be happier, according to current neuroscience, to hardwire the passing states into more lasting traits, this neuropsychologist suggests that we linger or savor on each positive experience for 10 to 20 seconds. That then we can actually then recall later. We want like the full body focus and attention on the positive experience, the gratitude, the feeling appreciated, the whatever it is. So we have in hardwired negativity bias in our brains because it helps us survive. To overcome that, we can train our brains to choose a positive experience, pay close attention, savor it, and repeat. The more we experience positive emotions like joy, the easier it is to experience them. Yeah.
But using that same idea of like savoring like some seconds and kind of like things like putting your fingers together, you do it at any time with your middle and thumb together. Middle finger and your thumb together, it will evoke that same response.
Did it say that?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
It might be. It's a good one. Okay, well, have a good weekend. I hope this was informative and interesting. And we will see you next week. Good luck revising and finishing your essay. And yeah. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, we're good.
See you. Thanks, Zach.